Hello everyone, Physics here. I hope you're all doing well. I know it's been a while, but I wanted to revisit something the pigroach said a while back. If I'm not mistaken, he said this a month ago, referring to the documentary. In it, he claims that the things people accuse him of aren't even that bad, so people shouldn't be upset at him. Let's watch.
The things that people accuse me of or are so angry about aren't actually that bad. Even if they were all true, which, by the way, I've told you guys many times they're not, right? But even if you don't believe me, and you think that everything that's ever been said about me is true, it's not nearly as bad as half the people out there.
First of all, it's not if the things we say are true. For the vast majority of situations, they are 100% true. Minus the escort saga, I guess, for which he will never shut up about. And we have a mountain of evidence and clips we can dig up to back up our claims. Second, he's either trying really hard to convince anyone who's on the fence about him, if there are any at this point, that he just said and did some mild things, or he really is completely lost in the sauce. He gaslit himself into really believing that he just said some unfunny and immature kiddie jokes. So just for the pig, here are some of the things you said and did. Some of them you continue to say and do. You're a beggar, you're a liar, a scammer, a racist, sexist, toxic as fuck, greedy, disgusting by the way you eat constantly on stream. You evaded taxes, so tax evasion, and you lied to the government, etc. Most people would take issue with at least some of these. Some people would take issue with all of these. And a couple of these are straight up federal crimes. Also, I hate this narrative of, what about these people over here? Whataboutism is one of the weakest defenses or justification for an action that there is. These other content creators doing awful things, your compatriot lolcows, doesn't wipe away the awful things that you say and do, pigroach. They should face consequences, and so should you. A bit later, around that same time, he accused people who clip and restream him of only doing it because there's money in it. He specifically mentioned memology and duty streams.
Why do you still stalk me every day? Why are you still watching? Right? Because you benefit from it, because you make money on it. That's why. If there was no money, there'd be no detractor community. I stand by that. Right now, I'll prove the point. You ready? Right now, to prove the point, I dare every one of these idiots, the memologies, the duty streams, the restreamers, all of them, demonetize your content for a whole month. Right now. Do it. Be men. Be real men. And demonetize your content for a month and prove that you actually do it because you have a reason to do it. Because you feel like you're doing something good, a service, instead of we're just doing it to make money. I fucking dare you to demonetize your content for a month.
Piggy, who in the fuck are you to dare people to be men, real men? The dude who lives in almost complete seclusion, afraid that the outside world is out to get him. The guy who moans and bitches if his cherry juice gets moved in the grocery store like a Karen. The little bitch who, if that whole arc is true, when his wife contacted him to say that the tire had been stolen from the car and that she was very upset about it, sat there for a good 15 minutes in stream, bitching about it to his chat, instead of, like a real man and a caring husband, dropping everything, call an Uber or something, to go be with his wife. About monetization, in my opinion, I don't think any of them should entertain this challenge. For the most part, I believe none of them have. I know Duty offered to demonetize his content for a month if the pigroach didn't beg for a month. Which of course didn't happen because begging is so ingrained in what the pigroach is. Besides, why should they demonetize in the first place? They put effort into their content, more than the pig ever has. If their follower base is large enough, they should absolutely have the option to monetize what they do. The difference is that, other than Pastor Derek Miller, and maybe some other black sheep in the community that I'm not aware of, unlike the pigroach, no one in our community begs for money. At most, they do the usual YouTuber stuff, which is ask people to like and subscribe. That's it. And if money is the only reason why we do this, how do you explain this video? I'm not making any money on this. I have 6 subscribers. I will most likely never make a cent on this channel. And despite the fact I may be sporadic in how often I put out videos, I will continue to do so when I feel like it. There are many others in the community just like me who never made any money on their content about the pigroach, but they still make it. The fact that you think it's all about the money, Piggy, shows how greedy you are. All you see is dollar signs. And you are completely missing the point of why we do it. More recently, Phil says the following about companies that he was partnered with or made money with.
Sarah says, if they're watching your older content, I understand why Twitch felt they couldn't partner with you, but it wasn't fair or right how they treated you. If you're talking about my really old content, here's the reason why that makes no sense. They partnered me for like 7-8 years. You understand that, right? Like when I started streaming in 2013, as soon as the partner program was available, they partnered me. And I did all those things that everyone today deems awful before then. So how was I part of their fucking partner program all those years, and then all of a sudden they determine that I'm not good for their partner program? Which is exactly, oh no, not again. Oh, I did it again. Which is exactly what happened with Teespring and with all these other businesses too. Teespring sought me out. I wasn't even looking to do merch, and Teespring sought me out and said, we want to open a store for you. And I was like, oh, okay. And then they made merch for me and everything. They knew who I was, right? They partnered with me for years, only for years later to say, oh, we don't like you anymore. We don't want you to, make merch. Like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Hey, how does it even make sense?
Clearly, the pig doesn't understand the optics in business and what the consequences of perceptions on a company can be. If someone from outside the vortex stumbles on the pigroach and is made aware of how awful and despicable he is, all the things I brought up earlier, and sees that this content creator is monetized, they may very well believe, and rightfully so, that YouTube is okay with hosting this type of content made by this type of individual on their site, and are even happy to pay them to do so. Piggy, I thought you were well versed on how the adpocalypse came about. Apparently not. Despite the fact that these companies initially don't have a problem with him and his content, either because they are unaware of who and what he is, or they just turn a blind eye to him, they are completely justified to run him off whatever platform it is at any point. Regardless if the content in question is from 16 years ago, 10 years ago, or from last week. And sure enough, one by one, all these companies do. Doesn't that make you wonder why? I guess not, Piggy. It's you versus the world. Jesus, come down from that cross. Adolf Pigler thinks he should be up there. And by the way, Piggy, that contract you signed with Twitch, the one where there was a clause which said that they could remove you at any time, at their discretion, without having to provide justification, the contract you signed with YouTube has that exact same clause on there. Trust me, go read that contract again.